The hangar echoed with the metallic clang of tools and voices. It was inspection day, and tensions were running high. A few enlisted techs stood near the maintenance bay, watching as Lieutenant Harris stormed toward the mechanic bench, face flushed with anger. "Who the hell authorized this modification?" he barked, slamming a clipboard onto the metal table. The woman behind the bench didn't even look up at first. Her hands were gloved, moving with quiet precision as she adjusted a torque wrench. Short hair tucked beneath a cap, grease streaked across her cheek, and eyes calm, too calm for someone being shouted at by an officer. "I did," she said evenly. Harris blinked. "You did." He took a step closer. "You're a civilian tech, not command. You don't just do anything without orders." She set the wrench down, finally meeting his gaze. "That adjustment kept your aircraft from losing power at 12,000 feet. "You're welcome." Murmurs rippled through the onlookers. The lieutenant's jaw tightened. "Watch your tone." She said nothing, just turned back to her work. That silence, steady and dismissive, ignited something in him. Harris, young and proud, used to obedience and respect, took it as mockery. "Look at me when I'm talking to you," he snapped, grabbing her shoulder. The wrench clattered to the floor. The entire hangar froze. She stood slowly, eyes shifting from his hand on her shoulder to his face. There was no fear in her expression, just a kind of cold disappointment. "Let go," she said quietly. He didn't. "You're way out of line, Missy." The back of his hand flew faster than his brain could catch up. A sharp crack echoed as it connected with her jaw. The impact echoed, silencing even the engines warming on the far side of the hangar. She didn't stumble, didn't cry out. She just straightened her neck, wiped the corner of her mouth, and stared at him like a predator measuring distance. "Are you done?" she asked. Something in her tone, low, level, and absolutely certain, made even the senior crew chief tense. Before Harris could respond, a command master chief stepped through the door, trailed by two officers. His gaze swept the hangar and stopped dead on the woman. His face went pale. "Ma'am," he snapped to attention. "Commander Blake didn't tell me you were back from deployment." The lieutenant's blood drained from his face. "Ma'am," he repeated faintly. The master chief turned toward him, fury barely contained. "Lieutenant, you just struck a decorated Navy SEAL, former commander, Ghost Division. You might want to start writing your resignation letter." The woman, the one everyone had thought was just a quiet mechanic, didn't even look at Harris again. She picked up her wrench, rolled her shoulder, and said calmly, "Let's get back to work. Some of us still have missions to finish." The hangar remained silent for a long, shamed moment. Lieutenant Harris stood frozen as the words sank in. A Navy SEAL. His mind reeled, trying to process what the Master Chief had just said. Around him, the hangar crew had gone utterly silent. No one moved. No one even breathed. Commander Blake, the mechanic he'd just hit, was already walking toward the far end of the bay, calm as ever, rolling up the sleeves of her grease-stained coveralls. Her movements were methodical, almost surgical. She didn't need to shout or threaten. Her quiet confidence did all the talking. The Master Chief stormed up to Harris. "You know who she is, Lieutenant. That's Commander Evelyn Blake, Silver Star, Navy Cross, 3 classified commendations you'll never read about. She led the Ghost Division through operations you wouldn't survive a debriefing of." Harris' throat went dry. He could still see the faint red mark on her jaw, and the sight made him sick. I didn't know," he stammered. "That's the problem," the chief growled. "You didn't ask." Blake turned, eyes glinting under the hangar lights. "He doesn't need a lecture," she said evenly. "He needs perspective." She motioned for Harris to follow her. Hesitant, pale, and visibly shaken, he obeyed. The two walked into the training bay, the echo of their boots trailing behind them. The rest of the crew exchanged looks, half afraid, half curious. Inside the training area, Blake stopped beside a rack of dummy rifles and target boards. "You're an officer," she said, her voice calm but cold. "You think rank gives you control. But control isn't about shouting or hitting. It's about earning trust." She picked up a rifle, checked the chamber, and without another word, raised it. The weapon cracked, once, twice, 3 times. 3 rounds, 3 dead center hits on the far target. Not one miss. "Respect," she said, lowering the gun, "isn't given because of a stripe. It's kept because of discipline." Harris swallowed hard. His heart pounded, the sound of her words hammering deeper than any reprimand could. "Commander," he said quietly, She held up a hand. "You made a mistake. Own it. Learn from it. Then move forward. But remember this, Lieutenant. She stepped closer, voice dropping to a whisper only he could hear. If you ever raise your hand to one of my people again, I won't report you. I'll teach you what it means to face a SEAL. Her eyes held his for a long, unforgiving second before she turned away. The Master Chief met Harris at the doorway, shaking his head. You just hit a legend, son, he muttered. And she still treated you better than most would. Back in the hangar, Blake resumed work as though nothing had happened. The crew, now standing straighter, watched her with a mix of awe and guilt. From that day forward, not a single officer raised their voice in that hangar again. The legend of Commander Evelyn, Ghost, Blake had returned, and respect had been permanently restored.